everyone, it's Jen. Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about all my piles of possibilities for September. I have 9 recommendations, 9 possibilities to follow series September, and then I have a smaller stack of other things that I want to try to make priority this month. Will I get to all of it? Absolutely not. I do this every month to myself, but I like to have some choices to plan out. So I have a little bit of TBR, but then I have a little bit of flexibility to kind of mood read and just pick up what sounds good to me. So let's just get started. So series September is put on by Krista at Books and Jams, and it's so fun. She has a bingo board again this year that has 9 different prompts. All the prompts are based upon different things about covers. So it was really fun to pick these out. Like I said, I'm not going to get to all 9 of these, but I want to show you a book that I'm hoping to pick up depending on which prompt I feel like reading. Also, my year-long read some series off my shelves, catch up in some series is still going, and I have not made that much progress, so this will help me with that as well. So let's just get started. So the first prompt for series September this year is Moody and Dark. So for that one, I am going with Shadow Heart by Meg Gardner. This is part of her Unsub series. It's book number 4. And I have read all 3 of them. And this one, I think we'll just wrap up the series. I don't think any more is coming out. She's not planning on writing any more in this series. In this one, we're following 2 serial killers. You have the same FBI special agent, Caitlin Hendricks. She's in all the books. She's great. I love her as her character. We are following Ephraim, who is in a Tennessee prison, and he draws haunting pictures of women he claims he has killed. And then on Dark and Black Roads of New York City, there's a new killer who poses duct tape bodies at the sites of Good's murders. So you have 2 serial killers. They're in this twisted rivalry, and FBI profiler Caitlin Hendrick has to unravel the connection to try to solve these crimes and put the other serial killer away. I can't say much more, but I do enjoy her as a character. Like I said, the character growth from book 1 to hopefully book 4. She'll continue growing. And if this is truly over, I'm going to be sad because I really have enjoyed these books. Next one is illustrated cover. So this is book 3 in Ember in the Ashes. I did not get to this in August. Krista and Sarah are doing a read along with this, and so September is book number 4. So I'm a whole book behind, unfortunately, but who knows? Maybe I'll read book 3 and 4. So we won't talk too much about this, but just know books 1 and 2 were both 5 stars for me. For this being a young adult fantasy series, I am thoroughly invested, and I just can't put these down when I pick them up. So it's going really well. Definitely want to make progress in that. Next one is Fall Colors on the cover, which is fun. And so I picked Dead and Gone by Joanna Schaafhausen. This is book 3, I believe, in this series. Haven't picked one up in a while, but these take place in Chicago. We have a police detective named Annalise Vega. And there's someone named Sam who dies, and it dies in a way that leaves this puzzle for her. So the ex-cop turned PI is found hanging from a cemetery tree with a message across his chest that suggests someone holds a murderous grudge against the police. Annalisa suspects the real answer lies in one of Tran's open cases. She believes he stumbled on a dark secret during his investigation and someone killed him to keep him quiet. I don't want to read anymore, but we also are following Vinny Vega, who hired Tran to find a dangerous stalker on his daughter's college campus, but now Sam is dead and the stalker remains at large, with Annalise's niece Quinn firmly in his sights. So Annalise has a personal connection to this case, and that's all I'm going to say. And I think this cover is just absolutely gorgeous. I'm liking the fall vibes for sure on that one. All right, next row, first book prompt is Blue Tones on the cover. This is one I picked up over the summer, never got to. This is book number 1. Hannah Morrissey is an author I've heard great things about. I'm anxious to try. This one says a suspenseful mystery debut featuring a female police transcriber who goes above and beyond to solve a harrowing case. Takes place in Wisconsin. And Hazel is the main character here. She's the police transcriber. She listens as detectives divulge Black Harbor's gruesome secrets. An aspiring novelist, Hazel believes that writing a book could be her only ticket out of this frozen hellscape, but her life isn't exactly brimming with inspiration until her neighbor confesses to hiding the corpse of an overdose victim. So with an insider's look at the investigation, Hazel becomes spellbound by the lead detective and the chilling narrative he shares with her. Through his reporting, she learns that a suspicious death is linked to Candyman, a drug dealer notorious for selling illegal substances to children. And so we'll see how far Hazel goes to find out this story as investigation unfolds. So that one sounds really good. It's short and sweet. Obviously, I'm hoping to get to all of these, so I don't want to sound like a broken record. Next prompt is bold type, and we're going to pick up Ruin for that one. This is one that I started in June. I'm about 100 pages in. Excuse me. Book 3 in the Faithful and Fallen series. I'm doing a loose read along with Sarah on this. Our goal is to finish this 4-book series by the end of the year, so it's definitely possible. But I told her, I said, we started this in June. It's now September. We need to pick this back up, or we're never finishing the series this year. So this is another kind of priority one for me. That's why it works right there in the middle of the bingo square. It's perfect. Next one is light academia vibes, and so I am going to pick up Us Against You. I reread Beartown at the end of last year in hope and preparation to read this trilogy. I still would like to finish this trilogy by the end of the year. With the winter vibes, I figured now is the perfect time to pick up book 2 before we get to winter. If you've read Beartown, you know what this is about, but it's definitely about a high school's hockey team, so that's where the academia vibes come in. I loved Beartown both times I read it. I read it the first time with my eyeballs, and the second time I listened to it, and both were great. Gave it 5 stars twice. So there's that one. Beautiful cover. Forest or Nature. So for that one, I'm going to pick up Forsaken County by Ellen Eskins. If I read this, I also read him to 0, I believe, which is another fun goal that I had set myself up for this year. So, but this one we're following Max Rupert, and he's left his position as a Minneapolis homicide detective to live in solitude. I'm going to skip this next part because it's spoilery for the series. But a local sheriff arrives with a desperate plea for Max Rupert. So Lyle's daughter, who's the detective, Sandy, and his 6-year-old grandson, Pip, have disappeared. Lyle is certain Sandy's ex-husband, Reed, is behind it, and the new sheriff is refusing to investigate. When Max reluctantly looks into their disappearance, he too grows suspicious, but the closer Max and Lyle get to finding proof, the more slippery Reed becomes until he makes a break for the beautiful but formidable Boundary Walters wilderness with Pip in tow. Racing after the most dangerous kind of criminal, a desperate father, and with the ghosts of their own past never far behind, Max and Lyle go on the hunt within a treacherous landscape, determined to bring an evil man to justice and to bring a terrified child home alive. So there's that one for Forest or Nature. Next one is beautiful cover. I could have picked so many for this one, but I really want to give Mary E. Pearson a try. This is her debut novel for adults. She has other YA books out. Kiss of Deception is the one I'm thinking of, that series. I actually own that too and want to try it. But this is so gorgeous. I just love this cover. It also has beautiful sprayed edges, which is fun. Let's see. And beautiful map inside there. This one is about fairies. So we have Dangerous Fae, Dark Secrets, and Addictive Romance. So this is a romantasy. After losing both their parents, Bristol Keats and her sisters struggle to stay afloat in their small, quiet town of Bowes Keep. When Bristol begins to receive letters from an aunt she's never heard of who promises she can help, she reluctantly agrees to meet and discovers that everything she thought she knew about her family is a lie. Her father might even still be alive, not killed but kidnapped by terrifying creatures and taken to a whole other realm, the one that he is from. Desperate to save her father and find the truth, Bristol journeys to a land of gods and fae and monsters. Pulled into a dangerous world of magic and intrigue, she makes a deadly bargain with the fae leader. But what she doesn't know is that he's the one who drove her parents to live a life on the run. And he is just as determined as she is to find her father, dead or alive. So there's that one. Okay, slightly different lighting, but my phone died. So I am back. It's been a little bit. We have one more prompt for Series September to talk about, and that is cozy vibes only. So I have two that I want to pick up for this prompt. First one is Beginning of a Series, Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayer. This now has 3 books out, and yes, I do own all of them. They all have gorgeous sprayed edges. This one is about, let's see, Evie Sage's employment status isn't just important, it's vital. So when a mishap with Renadon's most infamous villain results in a job offer, naturally she says yes. No job is perfect, of course, but even less so when you develop a teeny crush on your terrifying, temperamental, and undeniably hot boss. Don't find evil so attractive, Evie. But just when she's getting used to severed head suspended from the ceiling and the odd squish of an eyeball beneath her heel, Evie suspects this dungeon has a huge rat. And not just the literal kind, because something rotten is growing in the kingdom and someone wants to take the villain and his entire nefarious empire out. Now Evie must not only resist drooling over her boss, but also figure out exactly who is sabotaging his work and ensure he makes them pay. After all, good job. It's hard to find. So that sounds cozy, fun, and delightful, and I know a lot of people who like this one. The other one is book 4, and this is Finley Donovan's Rolls the Dice. This is, I think there's 5 books out now, and these are just cozy and fun, and you can't take these too seriously, but I'm always highly entertained. And this time, Finley and Vero end up in Atlantic City, so that one sounds fun too. So there you go. There are all my Series September possibilities. Now let's talk what is planned for outside of that. Okay, for Go With The Flow, I did not finish August Go With The Flow pick, which was a different genre than July. It was a romance book. It's Great and Precious Things. I have started this, but I'm barely getting going on it, so I do need to finish this up. But again, this is August Go With The Flow. But September's prompt is to find a book who has at least one word the same in the title as your previous book. So for that, I'm going to pick up A Sea of Unspoken Things. Things are in both of these titles. This is the only Adrienne Young book I have not read. This one is a romance novel, return home kind of trope. And A Sea of Unspoken Things. We have James and Johnny Golden were once inseparable. For as long as she can remember, James shared an almost supernatural connection with her twin brother. So James is a girl. That's interesting. She could feel what he was feeling. So when Johnny is killed in a tragic accident, James knows before her phone even rings that her brother is gone and that she's alone, truly alone for the first time in her life. When James arrives in the secluded town of Six Rivers, California to settle her brother's affairs, she's forced to revisit the ominous events of their shared past and finally face Micah, the only other person who knows their secrets and the only man she has ever loved. So I am going to stop reading. But I have given both of Adrienne Young's books 5 stars. It's really cool. I have a signed copy also. So those are going to be important to get to for September to get me caught up. I have made more progress on my Kindle book from July and August. It's still not done. So I will continue to read on my Kindle. And that again is Stacey Willingham's. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the title. Forget Me Not by Stacey Willingham. It's not the book's fault. I am enjoying it so much. I just have not picked up my Kindle. So I'm bringing it to work now and trying to read during my lunch break. So that's how I've made progress. I'm about a quarter of the way through. So I want to continue on with that. For my library read, I haven't picked up, actually I've picked up books from the library, but I haven't read a library read in a while. And this finally came through on my hold. And this is Theo of Golden by Ellen Levi. I'm really anxious to get to this. Krista has been singing its praises over at Books and Jams, and so I really want to try to pick that one up. Okay, also want to try to catch up. So this was Buzzword had for August had transportation on the cover, and also for the word with. So this is perfect, and I didn't read it, so I want to try to catch up with that. And then for this month's prompts for Buzzword, we have an event. So I'm going to go with Columbine by Dave Cullen, because this is an event that it's going to be hard to read about, but I think it will be a good read. You can't really see the title, kind of white on white, interesting cover choice. And then that was Buzzwords. For on the cover, it is like fall leaves kind of thing. So I am going to double up and try to read Forsaken Country for that. But that's also a Philspur prompt for series September. So I think that's it. I know I'm all over the place. I know that was a ton of books. Thanks for watching. We'll see what I can get to. We shall wait and see. But are you guys participating in series September? I'd love to chat down below with you guys. What are you planning on picking up? Are you starting to get into all the fall vibes like I am? I can't wait for it to cool down and snuggle up with a blanket and some hot tea and try to read all the books I can. So thanks again for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Happy reading. Bye.